Hello.
Hey, Mary.
Hey, Seth.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm a little sad to see Ashley and Jimmy breaking up.
Oh, baby.
Well, someone can only go through this 8 or 9 times
Or it starts to really hurt.
before it really gets to you.
It was time. It was time for them to move on again.
Again.
We shouldn't be so callous. You know what? There are probably like people out there who like tie their relationships to the relationships of their favorite characters on TV, and like I hope there's nobody out there who's like, I need to break up with my boyfriend because Ashley and
It's
Jimmy broke up.
Yeah, and it's true, and I think that actually Ashley and Jimmy probably do parallel a lot of real relationships. Not all relationships end cleanly. You go through stages of being together and being friends and hating each other and being together and being friends and hating each other, and I think there's probably some realism to that, but still.
And especially like I think any if a couple gets together in middle school, like were they in seventh or eighth grade when that happened? Probably seventh.
Seventh grade, yeah.
I think like, and then you get back together in high school, then there's all this pressure like, if we can just hold it together for the rest of our lives, then we'll have a really great story. Like, that we, first got together in seventh grade. But sometimes you just gotta face the music and be like,
Yeah, we should just hold it together for the rest of our lives. Yeah,
and
but we should be talking about Darcy.
yeah, this is
It's
kinda
hard to
hard.
talk about her because we can't make jokes
I
about
know.
the Darcy situation. But we can make jokes about Johnny DeMarco. Let's just dance around the Darcy situation until we talk to Shanae Grimes because
Okay. She can shed real light on it.
yeah, and then we won't put our foots in our mouths. But Johnny DeMarco, if we have time, I'll ask her about this. But the guy who plays him must either be a fantastic actor or just a real butthole because he is so authentically creepy. He's just like guys I knew in high school who are just that kind of sort of indestructibly creepy where you can't even counter them just because there's no sort of light in there that you can kind of get at and bother them because it just all bounces off them and they're just constantly evil.
But deep down inside, Seth, he goes home at night and cries alone in his room because he's so sad because he has no love in his life.
You're talking about Johnny DeMarco, not the actor who plays him.
No, yeah, I'm talking about that archetype.
Because Scott Patterson, who plays him, is listening to the song. He's like,
No,
no,
I
it's not
don't.
true. I have friends.
I hope for the sake of the Degrassi cast that has to like deal with him every day, I'm pretty sure he must be like just
Yeah.
a really good actor because otherwise they would have gotten rid of him long ago.
Yeah, he's so mean.
They had to
man.
deal with that personality every day. Oh my
Yeah.
god.
You know who I bet is not like that is Shanae Grimes.
Oh my god, I bet you're right.
I bet she's not like that at all.
She's a sweetheart. Every time I met her, she's just like shiny, sunshiny, smiley, pretty, awesome.
Right. And we can prove it. So let's call her and she can demonstrate this to us once again.
Totally.
Hello.
Hi, Shenae.
Hi.
Hi, it's Mary and Seth from the.com.
Hi,
Hello,
Shanae.
hello.
How are you doing?
I'm good, I'm good. How are you guys?
Good.
Very well.
Good.
What are you up to today? What did we catch you in the middle of?
I am on my lunch break at work for fashion television.
Oh, what do you do for fashion television?
I am interning here now, so it's very, very cool stuff. I mean, of course, I have to do the crappy administrative intern stuff, but I get to do the blogs for the website and stuff like that, so it's been really cool.
Really?
Oh my
Wow.
God, that's awesome. So you have good intern bosses? They don't treat you like a slave or anything?
Is your job like Paige's job on Degrassi? Is that what your bosses are like?
Yeah, except, without crazy women bossing me around. Minus that.
They treating you good? Because if not, I'll come get them.
They're all right. They're all right.
We
That's
gotta
good.
make sure we gotta look out for our Shenae. I feel like we just talked to you because but it was Halloween, which seems like yesterday.
Dude, I know. I was like, another podcast. Didn't I just do one? And I was like, no, not at all. It was so long ago. Holy crap. It's literally like a yearly thing. You guys call me every now and
I
then.
know.
Call more often.
Yeah, now we're making it more like a 6-month thing, I guess.
I need the love.
Totally, we need the love. But I guess it kind of makes sense because Darcy's having like a really big season. Like,
Yes. Yes, she is.
I remember you told us last time that like this wasn't over and she wasn't done dealing with the after effects, but
I don't think anyone was really anticipating what was to come, though.
How did you feel about this episode?
That's my favorite. I'm waiting anxiously to see that. Oh, you guys are lucky you get to see it before I do.
Oh,
man. You haven't seen the final version yet. Oh.
I have not seen it, but I have a very good story about it.
Okay.
That I will forever remember because I can look down at my leg anytime and have that little reminder. I have a inch-long scar on my leg, 7 stitches. 7 stitches from those fateful scissors.
That is not mild. Wait, from the scissors?
Yeah, man. Oh, yeah.
What happened?
This is the best story. So we did a bunch of different shots, a bunch of different things, because we could only do actual incident once, right? I mean, pretty permanent. Right. So we were using dull scissors for all of the other shots. We did them a bunch of times, no problem, throw them down, run out. Then they bring in the sharp ones for this last take, one take only. I cannot screw it up. It has to be good because obviously my hair will be gone and that will be that. So they're like, okay, Shenae, these are the sharp ones. Now, when you're throwing them down, watch out for Stefan. You don't want to hurt him. So, like, watch out, Stefan Bergeron, who plays Snake, right? Because he's standing right in front of me and I have to throw them down. So I'm like, yeah, of course. So I'm in the scene, and obviously it's very emotional, so I was very much in the moment, and I throw them down, and they didn't hit the ground. I didn't hear a thump at all. And then I was like, okay. I felt like they tugged on my pants a little bit, whatever, and then they fell out, and I finished the scene, and I ran out. And then I was outside, and I was just like, no, that didn't feel right. Like maybe I scratched myself or something. I pull up my pant leg, and all of a sudden I see this little slit on my leg open right up, and I'll get graphic on you guys, but I saw muscle. Oh, yeah.
Oh, man.
Oh, yeah. Rushed to the hospital in the middle of the day. Obviously, the first thing going through my mind is not like, oh my God, my leg split open, I need stitches. It's, oh my God, I stopped shooting for the day. What am I going to do, right? I'm freaking out. I'm so sorry. They were like, girl, get the hospital. So I had to go to the hospital for the day. But I heard that the scene came out and you couldn't see anything in my eyes. I didn't flinch, so I'm very happy about that.
There's absolutely no indication that you had mortally wounded yourself.
Isn't that amazing? I couldn't believe it. So literally, that's my favorite episode. I love that scene, and I will forever remember it.
I'm going to go back and watch that over and over now just to see, like, if I can see the moment when you stab yourself.
Like, twitch in my eye or something.
And I bet they had to, like, add the sound in of the scissors falling later.
Oh, my God, honestly. Like, that's what everyone noticed. And they were shooting behind-the-scenes stuff, too. And it was just Jeremy, one of our production guys, was like, I didn't hear a thump. Like, oh, my God. So when it happened, he was like, oh, that's why I didn't hear a thump.
Oh,
wow. So funny.
That actually, okay, I have to tell you, that kind of eases my mind because I've heard before, like, that you didn't feel it when it happened. I've always thought, like, what if I die in, like, a horrible accident or something? But
no worries, you'll be fine.
Yeah, you don't feel it. Like, you're just,
at all.
So it doesn't matter.
It was so funny. I had no idea at all. And it was deep, man. Like, I did not know what was going on. It was hilarious. But it's a true story. You cut off your hand, don't worry, because you won't feel it for the first couple minutes.
All right, for the listeners that have not fainted by now, we should probably move on and talk about something that does not involve the internal parts of your body coming to the outside. So tell us, like, what did you think was going on in Darcy's head throughout the course of the storyline of this episode?
Honestly, guys, like, I had a lot thrown in my way, and that was the hardest thing, figuring out, like, where the hell is this set at, like, to be doing all of this crazy stuff. And, I mean, you saw the relationship with Snake got really twisted in her mind, and that's what it came down to. Honestly, I channeled my inner Brittany, of course, right? Because that's clearly where they took it from. And it was just like, you're looking at a girl who's just, she's at a complete loss. She doesn't know what's going on anymore. She doesn't know right from wrong, up from down. Her world's been turned upside down by this event. It really shattered all of the values that she held so strongly, and everything's getting twisted, you know? I don't think she was hitting on Snake. I think she twisted it and their connection and, you know, what she felt as a confidant. She kind of turned things in her head and just really misinterpreted what it all meant. And I think it was just that act was out of desperation. I don't think anything was going through her head except for the world falling apart and, what am I going to do? It was very impulsive, and that's how I ran with it.
And I can imagine also, like, she's basically living a lie. Like, there are only, like, a very few people who know what happened. So I'd imagine that kind of, like, weighs on your psyche after a while. And the fact that Snake is one of the people who kind of knows the truth, it sort of puts him into this, like, bubble of, like, special people, like, trusted people.
Oh yeah. He was it for her, you know. He became the only person who she felt coming. Even though, yeah, Manny and Peter knew, she wasn't really comfortable talking about it, especially not Peter. She still felt a little bit weird about that relationship and stuff. So, you know, Snake was really it for her. He was like a dad. He was like a boyfriend. He was like just that person, her go-to person. So the idea of him leaving her and the idea of her secret being outed and the idea of just everything she felt like she was slowly rebuilding her life. She wasn't. She was doing it in the wrong way, and she hadn't healed anything, so nothing was going properly. But in her head, she was getting her life back together, and the thought of that being taken away from her again, it was just earth-shattering, really. Yeah. And I think that's what it was, is she just wanted to do anything to keep him, just stay here, be with me. Like, that means being more screwed up so that you feel like you need to help me more, then fine, and whatever. Just, you know, she didn't know what she was doing. She held the scissors up to her throat in the first place, you know? Like, she didn't know what she was doing.
Do you have any sort of insight into why she sort of tried to make things right at the end? Do you think she just was sort of regaining her sanity?
No, I think that's just more of the insanity. I think the struggle continues. The struggle continues from this point. You know, she's trying to put on a brave smile for everybody else because she doesn't want Snake to, you know, completely, like I said, leave her, and she doesn't want, you know, people to leave her. So it's like, okay, wait, like this mess isn't working. You don't want to help me when I'm a mess. Okay, so fine, I'll smile. I'll be the same Darcy, right? Okay. And then everyone will like me, and then everyone will stay, and then I won't be alone, and then I won't have to think with my thoughts, and I won't have to sit there in my head. And, you know, it's all pretend. It's all a facade, and she hasn't healed yet.
Wow. That's really, really interesting. That you're looking at Darcy and saying she's still faking it. That she's still not. That's really wow. That's I'm speechless. But I think that's great. I think that's speechless in a good way.
More
I think that's
to come. Just a little bit more. Just a little bit more. She eventually does. She'll figure it out. But it's getting to that root of the problem that is such a struggle for her.
Wait,
so keep it going for a little while longer.
Speaking of being speechless. Seth found this thing today on Pitchfork when we were doing our Shenae research about a 7-inch like punk single that you did around the holidays with the band we unfortunately can't say the name of.
Words I'm not allowed to say, yeah.
But like the bassist from Rites of Spring was on there, and someone from Face to Face, and someone from AFI, and like, what is the story there?
Yeah, man, I had no idea what I was doing. Honestly, it was a good buddy of mine who's a writer and producer and singer songwriter in Toronto. Just called me up one day and was like, "Dude, I'm producing this holiday album for this crazy punk band, so just like say whatever, right?" And I was like, okay, like married, blah, 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 right? I can't say those words, but I did it, and then all of a sudden everybody's asking me like, "Shenae, what did you do? Like, what is this?" Everyone's sending me links on the internet. I was like, dude, I had no idea. People are telling me like, Shanae Grimes on an album singing with Nelly Furtado. I was like, what? Like, people have misconstrued it so much. It's hilarious. I was just doing a random favor, and now it's everywhere. And I ended up meeting, because I did it over the phone. He just called me up one day and was like, say something. I was like, okay. And it was at MTV the other day, and this guy who was being interviewed came over to me, and he was like, "Hi, Shenae, I'm the lead singer of leaped up. I was like, oh, hello there. I was on your album. Look at that. But I love it. I'm getting some flack from, like, you know, the industry peeps and whatever, but the fans are really loving it. They're like, look at that. Good Christian Degrassi girl gone bad. Like, you know, some street cred.
It must be so weird that, like, everything you ever do is, like, it could end up in your bio. Like, it goes on your permanent record, basically. It's like being
absolutely everything. That's right. Everything is on camera. You need to pick and choose.
But that said, I wish someone would call me up and say, hey, say something, and then it would suddenly end up on some underground podcast.
All over the internet.
That's the type of stuff that doesn't happen to me. Oh, well. Have you heard the song yet?
I still have yet to hear it. Like, I never sent me a freaking album. He never sent me a copy, so I'm still yet to hear it, and the rest of the world's talking about it. It's amazing.
All right.
I feel like all of our Shenae podcasts are like holiday themed because we always talk to you at Halloween, and now we're talking about
I know, right? It does seem to be like a theme.
So, like, what are you doing for St. Patrick's Day?
St. Patrick's Day, I will be participating in Fashion Week here in Toronto, actually. It's from the 15th to the 20th, so I'll be attending and working with fashion television. So,
is it going to be totally like Lauren Conrad style? Like, are you like under someone's thumb the whole time and have a million things to do?
I feel like it may be, but I'm actually going to be taking coverage for my blog, a designer in Toronto, a local designer. She's actually background on Degrassi, not a The-Seth. She's just an up-and-comer. She, like, debuted in last Fashion Week, and she's doing Fashion Week again, so she's decided to design a few outfits for me for Fashion Week. So I've got to attend some shows in her clothes so that I get some pictures taken. But when I'm not sitting there watching the shows, I'll be running back and forth with a headphone on probably, and it should be pretty crazy.
Clipboard and headset, the sign of a true intern.
Exactly. I love it.
Is Shenae an Irish name? Are you totally Irish or no?
Yeah, I'm half Irish.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's an Irish name, but it's not supposed to be spelled the way my name's spelled. That's like my mom's phonetically spelled version that she felt was right. It's actually supposed to be spelled S-I-N-E with a little accent over the E, but she didn't want people calling me like Fine.
I've heard that's there's a cafe in New York called Shenae that's spelled
really?
Yeah, totally.
That's so cool.
Where Jeff Buckley used to play there. It was like a big deal. And I guess it's probably like the same like base name as like Sinead O'Connor probably.
Totally.
Okay.
Yeah, totally. Everybody says that. Everybody says that. I'm like, yes, you know, the bald chick who ripped the picture in front of everyone. That's where my mom got inspired from.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you so much for talking to us as always. Such a good time. You always like put me in the best mood. I'm always like smiling my ass off when we talk to you.
Hey, thank you. You put me in a good mood. Call more often.
Oh, we will.
Good.
All right.
All right, guys. Have a good one.
Okay.
Thank you. Bye.
I'm totally serious. I'm like smiling so huge right now.
Really? Yes. She's a fun bringer, that Shenae.
I feel like my teeth are whiter just talking to her.
Oh, that's sweet. I forgot to ask her about Scott Patterson.
Oh, right. He'll just have to be a mystery to us until we talk to him.
She probably would have been like, oh, don't get me started on that guy. No.
Stop it, Seth. He's probably listening, and I bet he is.
The hair is probably not even real. It's probably just attached to his hat, like that thing that Spinner had on 2 weeks ago.
It's probably Jessica Simpson's Ken Paves extensions or something. I mean, it is luxurious. Some good-looking hair.
How about that Shenae with her internship? It's not enough school and being a TV star. She's doing an internship too.
And it's a fashion internship too. Those always look to, maybe because I've never done one, but those look like the most serious kind of internships.
Right, it's like Paige's job, exactly. I mean, what do? I sit here, I record a podcast, I write a blog. I don't have an internship.
Yes, Seth, you don't do anything.
Shenae's making us look bad, man. We got to get on the ball.
God, you're so lazy. All right. Go relax and eat your grapes. Sorry, that didn't make any sense.
Oh, I understand what you meant. My peeled grapes. Yes, I understand.
Go have an intern peel your grapes.
Yeah, I wish.
All right.
Talk to you next week, Mary.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.